We call it the cloud. It sounds light, invisible, and wireless. But that is the greatest marketing lie of the 21st century. The internet isn't in the sky. It is buried in the mud, at the bottom of the ocean. 99% of all international data, your emails, your bank transfers, and military secrets, travels through fiber optic tubes no thicker than a garden hose. These are the submarine cables, the physical nervous system of the global economy. And right now, they are more vulnerable than ever, from shark attacks to Russian spy ships to catastrophic failure. If these cables break, the modern world doesn't just slow down, it stops. Welcome to the logistics of the underwater empire.
For years, the media told us the biggest threat was nature. We all saw the videos of sharks biting cables, but that is a myth. Modern cables are wrapped in steel armor. A shark breaks its teeth. Zero cables have been lost to fish bites since 2006. The real monster that is us. 70% of all internet blackouts are caused by fishing trawlers and ship anchors dragging along the seafloor. When a cable snaps, it triggers a silent alarm in a network operations center. And the clock starts ticking. The panic is immediate. Fixing it is the most dangerous construction job on Earth. Specialized ships must hold a perfect position in the ocean. Sometimes for weeks, they deploy our OVS remotely operated vehicles. These 5-ton robots dive 2 miles deep into the crushing pressure. The robot cannot fix the cable underwater. It must find the broken ends, hook them with a grapnel, and drag them up to the surface. On deck, engineers splice hair-thin glass fibers by hand inside a sterile clean room. If they are off by a fraction of a millimeter, the connection fails. The price tag for a single repair mission, between $1 and $3 million. Recently, accidents have started looking like attacks. In 2024 and 2025, cables were severed by anchor dragging in highly suspicious patterns. This is the new era of hybrid warfare. You don't need to bomb a country to destroy its economy. Just drag an anchor and plead ignorance. For over a century, these cables were owned by telecom giants, AT&T, and the phone companies. A seismic shift has happened. For tech companies Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon now own or lease over 70% of the world's major cables. In 2012, their share was only 10%. Today, they are infrastructure barons, spending billions to bury their own private internet. They don't want to rent bandwidth. They need ultimate control over speed, or what they call zero latency. Your blink of an eye is too slow. Cloud computing and AI demand instantaneous, dedicated connections to their data centers. They named these cables after geniuses. Google's Grace Hopper connects New York to Europe. Meta's Massive to Africa cable is rewriting Africa's digital future. This private race for speed has collided with the greatest geopolitical struggle, the digital rivalry between the United States and China. Submarine cables are the new frontier of the digital Cold War. China's state-backed companies are building infrastructure across Asia and Africa. The U.S. government views this as a national security risk, a platform for espionage and surveillance. Washington has pressured Meta and Google to drop Chinese partners, rerouting or blocking cables intended for places like Hong Kong. The fear is simple. Chinese-controlled cables could be used to compromise or spy on sensitive data flowing from U.S. government agencies. The world's internet is not just fragile, it is becoming fragmented. Two competing networks are slowly pulling the internet apart. The deepest part of the ocean is the safest, but the cable must eventually land, and here is the most profound vulnerability. Landing stations are unassuming concrete buildings. Yet, dozens of the world's most important cables terminate in a single room. While deep-sea sabotage requires submarines, attacking a landing station only requires a pair of wire cutters or a shovel in the dead of night. Beyond the physical threat, there's the cyber threat. Many landing stations use remote systems that are often poorly secured. A skilled hacker can remotely delete the entire functionality of a cable, plunging a region into immediate darkness. So what is the alternative? Space. Companies like SpaceX and Amazon are building vast constellations of LEO satellites, but the satellites will not replace the cables. The physics are simple. Fiber optic cables still deliver far lower latency and vastly higher capacity. Starlink is the perfect solution for the final frontier ships and nations without infrastructure. It is connectivity for the last mile, but the core backbone of the internet, the massive data flows needed for AI and finance, will remain on the ocean floor for decades to come. For now, our digital world still rests on these single, delicate threads of glass. And the nations that control them, repair them, and attack them are controlling the flow of the future. The next world war may not start with a missile. It may start with a simple, quiet snap on the seabed floor, disguised as an accident. The Titan scale is the story of the hidden, colossal forces that shape our world. The things you never knew you depended on until they vanish. If you want to understand the true size of the shadow economy, the infrastructure of the elite, and the logistics of power, subscribe now. The Titan scale will be waiting.